There it is.
Well, I'm
Dropping this segment right now.
All right, Dennis, give us the topics. What are we copping and dropping today? Or dropping today?
All right. 8th overall pick for the Carolina Panthers. Cop or drop. The Carolina Panthers trade out of the 8th pick. Cop or drop.
So if I drop it, that means they're sticking and picking at 8.
Yes.
I'm dropping it. It's funny.
So you're saying they're going to stay at 8 and pick?
I think they're going to make the pick. And that's mostly gut feeling, right? It's nearly impossible to predict trades. But unless there's a team that desperately needs a quarterback and there's an obvious move up, I don't see the Panthers desperately needing a quarterback. Here's the thing. This is the part of the calendar, right? The next 28 hours. But really the previous 24, including and then going into the next 28 hours. I believe absolutely nothing that everybody is telling me. If there's one person that sounds crazy and they're telling me with conviction, I look into that, right? If there were one insider out there going, you know what the Panthers are going to do? They're going to draft a quarterback. I have insider knowledge that they hope Shedeur is there. I would laugh at him first, and then I would go, all right, he's putting his career integrity on this. Maybe it's happening. What I get curious of or leery of is when every insider is saying the same thing. And the reason why I get leery of that is, do you really think a team said all right, everybody, scouts, GMs, everyone in the front office, call everyone you know in the media, and I need you to tell absolutely all of them this very specific thing, and then have them actually do it? So in the last, 24 hours, Ashton Genty to the Jacksonville Jaguars with the 5th pick it's Todd McShay, it's Adam Schefter, it's Dane Brugler, it's Daniel Jeremiah, it's Peter Schrager, all of them. I'm going, you think they told everybody and then they're just going to do it? So I'm leery of that. The fact that, 2 is is that the Browns? The Browns at 2, the Giants at 3, the Raiders at 6, the Panthers at 8. They all want to trade back is becoming the thing. Yeah, maybe, but also, if everybody's saying it, I don't believe it. So I think they're going to stick and pick at 8. I think they'll get someone they want.
Yeah, it's a two-way street. It's always a two-way street. You got to have someone willing to come up. Watch me San Francisco at 11 that comes up. They want an offensive lineman. If Will Campbell falls, they don't want the Chicago Bears to take him. Calling it right now. San Francisco at 11.
All right. They haven't gotten burned by trading up in the first recently. Trey Lance.
That's a little bit different. Hey, when you find Brock Purdy, they also have 11 picks, by the way. San Francisco does. They have a lot of picks.
They have to pay Brock Purdy too, so rookie contracts are very, very important to them.
They also need to do that. Cop or drop. The Panthers have pick number 57 overall, which is in the second round, the 25th pick in the second round. Cop or drop. The Panthers trade up in the second round into the top 50. Cop or drop.
I think this is more likely. He's there. What did you say there? 59, 57?
57.
So they got to trade for at least 7 picks?
Yep.
I'll cop that. Both picks they made, one of them ended up being the last pick in the first round, but they traded up to get Xavier Legette. Then they traded back and then back up to get Jonathan Brooks. It just seems like Dan Morgan goes into a draft knowing what he wants at that part of the draft. Granted, it's a small sample size, just one draft that he's run. But I think they'll be aggressive there. I think they aren't afraid to go get their guy on day 2 of the draft. So yeah, I think they move up, and whether they move up 7, I'm considering this a win if they move up 5, even though it's technically a loss.
So for Carolina, according to trade value charts, the Carolina Panthers can move from pick 57 up to about pick 59. I'm sorry, pick 50 to where the Seattle Seahawks are, or pick 49 to where the Cincinnati Bengals are, and only give up one of their 2 4th-round picks to do so. So if there's someone that they know is going to be there, they can potentially make that move. I think I'm with you on that one. I think they make that move.
I think GMs, whether maybe subconsciously, do have tendencies in the draft, and I think one of them is Dan Morgan is a I don't want to say a sucker for, because that sucker's like negative intonation in a like a trade situation. But I think he is somebody that if like a guy he has a first round grade on falls into the part of the second, he's like, yeah, let's go get him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he does it.
All right, next one, cop or drop. The Carolina Panthers will use one of their draft picks in either the 4th or 5th round on a running back. Cop or drop.
Use one of their picks in the 4th or 5th on a running back.
Yes.
I'm copping and I'm hoping.
Give me a name. Who? Give me 1 or 2 guys.
In the 4th or 5th, I know you and I are both high on Brashard Smith.
From SMU,
if
yes,
he is
absolutely.
there in the 4th, I'm with it. If somebody, and it's really hard to know what order teams have running backs in. Like I want to say Bashul Tutin from Virginia Tech. Mm-hmm. He could be like a late second. He was the fastest 40-yard dash amongst, I think, offensive players, or definitely running backs. Maybe behind Matthew Golden at receiver. But that's at the combine. I want speed. I want speed. So, anyone that ran a 4.4 or less, like 4.4 flat or less at the combine, if you can grab one of those guys, and assuming that you like him as a football player also, don't go get a track star. Get them in the 4th or the 5th round. I'd be a huge fan of that. Somebody, because, I'd name my theories, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hot tub theory.
Go on.
Have you ever been, particularly like this time of year, somewhere where there's a hot tub and a pool? And, if you jump in the pool, it's chilly. If you go sit in the hot tub for 20 minutes and then jump in the pool, it's frigid, right? It's really cold, just how it feels, because it's the comparison. Chuba Hubbard, going from, by the way, I like Chuba Hubbard. He's not a burner, right? So if you just face a running back that runs a 4.35, it's fast. If you, 1 out of every 5 plays, face a guy that runs a 4.35, and all the other times you're being conditioned for a more power between the tackles back like Chuba Hubbard, it's going to feel even faster, right? I want to speed it up on him and then pull it down and slow it down on him. Speed it up, slow it down. So I want a fast running back to complement Chuba Hubbard.
It's like the baseball player with the batting donut.
Yes.
On the on deck circle.
Exactly.
Make it feel a little bit heavier.
Their angles will just be thrown off.
All right, cop or drop. Carolina Panthers have some needs in the secondary as well. Cop or drop. The Carolina Panthers will spend one of their first 3 picks. They have pick in each of the first 3 rounds. They'll spend one of those picks on a defensive back. Cop or drop.
Copping. Actually, both of your first cop or drops, I think, apply to this. I said they won't trade back from 8. If they can find a trade partner back half of the first round, I think that introduces Nick Emanwari, the safety from South Carolina, into the mix. I think it introduces Malachi Starks into the mix, safety from Georgia. And then also kind of vice versa, if they are sitting at 57, that's their pick in the second round, and a safety they like, whether it's one of those 2 or one of a couple others.
I think Xavier Watts from Notre Dame.
If they have a upper second or late first round grade on a safety that is tumbling a bit, I think that's somebody that they might go, let's just go get him. Trade up from 57 to go get a safety. Because I do think they're going to start a rookie at safety. I think one of them will be a rookie just on how they've spent their resources this offseason. And I'd be much more comfortable starting one of the top 3 or 4 safeties in a draft class than starting the 8th that we settled for at the end of the 4th round or whatever it is. So that's kind of 2 specific scenarios I think you should watch out for.
All right, final one here. Cop or drop. The Carolina Panthers have 9 draft picks in the 2025 draft. Cop or drop. They actually finished with less than 9 draft picks. Cop or drop.
I will cop it. So they don't make 9 picks is what I'm
Yes, so they make 8 or 7 or 6.
I think they'll kick a little bit of it into next year's draft. So you might do something where you give up your 4th and a 5th to move up in the 4th, or 4th and a 6th to move up in the 4th and get your guy, but you get like a 7th next year. There's a little bit of kicking it into the future. So I don't think they'll, in the entirety of their war chest of draft picks, be too far down, but I do think they will. Like I said, I think they're aggressive. I think Dan Morgan is a GM that wants to go get his guy, and to do that, you got to give up picks. and we'll see how it plays out for him.
I think they make 7 picks.
Specifically, why that
7.
number, not 6?
So I think they use one of their 2 4th-round picks to move up along with their 2nd-round pick. They take those 2 to move up in the 2nd round, so you're giving up a pick that way.
Yeah, as you described.
And I think they might use 2 of their 5th-round picks to move back into the bottom of the 4th.
All right. I mean, that's specific. I need to know what players are available.
So they would have a pick in the 1st, and the 2nd, a 3rd, 2 in the 4th, the 5th, and the 7th. So 7 picks. I'm calling it right now.
There it is. If it happens, buy a lotto ticket.